All right, I think I speak for everybody when I say one of the hardest things when you buying shoes, bruh, is figuring out when is a good time to wait before you pay resale, because not all the time you get it right. It's probably times where you could have pulled the trigger and the price was low, and then you look back and be like, damn, now I gotta pay $100, $200, $300 more than what I could have bought them for in the beginning. Other times you're on a different end of the string, right? There's times where you almost pay an insane amount of money or almost pay resale, and out of nowhere you get blessed with a retail victory. I was doing it, bro. I already had the money on my account. I was sending this over to my boy Fight Academy Kicks for this sneaker, which in my opinion, it gotta be in the conversation of Jordan of the year, hands down. And out of nowhere, Nike restocked on this shoe, and I was just like, no way possible. And out of nowhere, the sneakers I restocked on this sneaker, and I was saved by the bell. As you guys can see, man, we got the Air Jordan 3 reimagined box, so you know that reimagined is inside of there. And bro, this is not my first time being saved by the bell from a restock. I also hit on the Air Jordan 1 lost and found on the restock. So it's two sneakers I did not have until the restock came. And I want to talk to y'all about the importance of waiting, bro, because especially now, I'm starting to see Nike, maybe this month because it was a lot slow, but Nike do like a lot of the reserves for, sometimes they do popular pairs, other times I feel like they do pairs that really haven't been doing well. But come on, man, come on, look at this, clean, bro. Clean. I know I reviewed this shoe, Nike Air on the back. I reviewed this shoe when it came out, but I didn't have a personal pair. And that's because, bruh, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when I review sneakers, I really be over selective, and that's my fault, right? Because a sneaker like this came out, I reviewed it, but I think I knew it was fire, I knew it was dope, but I was like, you know what, man, forget it, you know, I'm probably just gonna pass on these. It ain't gonna kill me, and it killed me. And sometimes, like I said, I'm over selective. My girl made me reorganize my entire house to the point where I have 4 closets full of shoes, and I only have 1, which means I got rid of a bunch, I consolidated. I even did a lot of videos where I traded like 4 or 5 pair of sneakers for 1 sneaker. I remember I traded like 6 or 7 pair for like the off-white laminated Air Force Ones. I did videos like that for the UNC Air Jordan 1s, like the off-white UNC Air Jordan 1s. I've consolidated a lot of sneakers over time, and now I'm in a place where I'm selective. And if you've been collecting sneakers for a while, bro, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Comment down below if you know what I mean. Once you get to a place, bro, where you got 4 or 5 closets full of shoes, it get to a point where you're not a hoarder, but it's like, I be feeling like it's harder to get dressed when you got 300 pair of shoes the same colorway. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, and you're not gonna wear them all. So I think I did a really good job, but the downside of being selective is passing up on stuff that you know you're gonna want later. And this was a clear example. And when it comes to the Air Jordan 1 lost and found, I didn't pass up on that. I was promised a pair from a store I ain't even gonna talk about because I don't wanna bash them, but I was promised a pair from a store, and once they pulled that promise, I was just left with my pants down, because at that point, the sneaker already released. I was waiting on them to send that through. They never sent it through, so unfortunately, I was at a place where I was gonna have to pay resale, but once again, the Nike sneakers app saved me, and I was able to get the lost and found off a restock. The Air Jordan 3 white cement, however, this shoe, even though it's not reselling for much, I was gonna pay $350. All right, $350 was what I was willing to pay. And as you can imagine, paying $350 for an Air Jordan that might be sneaker of the year is not a bad deal. And though I agree, bro, every dollar count over here, bro. I don't care how much money I make. I don't care how much money I spend. I still try to be thoughtful of what I'm dropping bread on. Not to mention, bro, clothes are expensive, bro. Like, I was talking to my boy Unbreakable Kicks. As y'all know, he lost a lot of weight, so now he got to get a whole new wardrobe. And we were talking about, like, man, at one point in time, I was only worried about the sneakers, and now I'm worried about the clothes, because I'm not one of those YouTubers, and I'm not, no shot at nobody, but I'm not one of those YouTubers who, you know, want to have every sneaker but can't dress. Or I don't want to be that YouTuber that has every single Jordan with a trash outfit. Like, they're out there. They out there. And I'm not the best dressed either. I just like to at least put my best foot forward sometimes. And I feel like in order to do that, you can't only focus on what you're wearing. It gotta be assembled correctly, because it's certain sneakers you can wear that a lot of people wouldn't even like, but when you wear it properly, it brings some value to the shoe. When you rock it with a certain fit, certain colors, when you can make certain things pop and make it look more attractive. I'm more into that than just throwing on a pair of shoes that's $1,000 with a trash fit and be like, you see what's on my feet? You know what I'm saying? It be like that sometimes. I just don't want to be there. This is undoubtedly in conversation for sneaker of the year, right? In my opinion, the top 3 sneakers, well, you got me there. Top 3 kind of tough. But top 5, right? Air Jordan 3 White Cement, reimagined, easily. Air Jordan 4 SB, right? That nice skateboard colorway that they have with the white and green. We cannot do anything without talking about the Lost and Found. And last but not least, the Travis Scott Low Olive has to be in there because that's a great sneaker too. As I look back on the year, I have every sneaker in that list, right? Except the Jordan 4 SB, because the same thing happened with the Air Jordan 1 Lost and Found. But once again, I ain't gonna get into that. I ain't trying to bash nobody. Jordan Brand did an amazing job with this sneaker, from everything to the midsole that's looking worn, right? They got the aged midsole on the back. They even gave us like the Air Jordan 3 breakdown card, like the little manual that we used to get back in the day. The box, man, I mean, they killing it. And I think the reimagined has definitely brought back a lot of our favorite sneakers and put them into a new light. However, I'm not the biggest fan of the Air Jordan 1 Royal reimagined, the Deep Royal. That's a little iffy for me. That's a little tricky. I am going to hold my judgment until I get them in hand, because I don't even have a Jordan 1 that colorway. I would really love to have one. And you know, when you finally get a sneaker you've been wanting for a while, you start making excuses to why it's dope. So before I sound like a hypocrite and I just go sneaker bashing, I'm gonna hold my opinion and just say I'm gonna wait until I get them in hand, do the review to let y'all know what I think about them. But other than that, I mean, I think Jordan Brand has been doing an amazing job reimagining shoes, which is just changing up a few subtle details, making it look more nuanced, right? Making it look like it got a little bit more historic balance. And they didn't miss on these, man. They did not miss on these at all. So a few questions you gotta ask yourself when you're willing to buy sneakers for resale is this. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, bro. Number 1, what is the likelihood of Nike restocking this? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that Nike is gonna restock the Air Jordan 4 SB. I'm just being completely honest. And with that being said, I know for a fact, if I was to pay resale tomorrow, I can live with that one because I know it was a little bit more exclusive. It was hard to get. It wasn't like every other general release that happened this year. For example, the Travis Scott Olive. I know for a fact that sneaker will not re-release. It's over with. It's done. Nike will not restock on that. So doing the information and knowing the way sneakers usually drop, that comes like with a pro of being here for a while, doing this for a while. You can kind of be a little bit more relieved when it's like coming to picking up those. Now these, I didn't know they was gonna restock if we being honest, but the chances was high. The chances was high. Plus, if I did pay resale, like I say, $350 wasn't the worst. So I was waiting to live with that. That's the reason why I haven't went back and bought too many foam posits that I really wanted, is because I see that Nike is on a wave where they're releasing a lot. The Air Jordan 121 suede. Shout out to my boy Junebug. When I went to LA for a few days, he had rebought the Air Jordan 21 red suede and it looked fire. And I immediately wanted to go and cop them myself. I looked on the net, they being sold for $500, $600. I truly believe in my heart, this year, next year, maybe the next year, Jordan Brand will re-release the Air Jordan 21 red suede, and I'll be able to get it for retail, because even though it's probably one of the biggest releases outside of the 1 through 14, I don't really feel like a lot of the kids these days, young people these days, or even the people that's around these days will really care too much to pick up that sneaker, and I think my odds would be higher. So I'd rather just buy that for retail than spend $600 now. That's just me using the information that I know on releases and how hype works. I've been seeing a lot of people rumor about it. That's also the same reason why I haven't bought the Air Jordan Military Blue. I know for a fact it's gonna come back out. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta use your best judgment on whether to cop, let go, or grab now, because at the end of the day, man, it comes down to what you know. Ask around, ask a friend, you know? Unfortunately, everybody doesn't have, you know, you might not know people with all the answers, but it's a community, or at least it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a community with a bunch of people who's there for you, can help you out, answer certain questions. And yeah, man, you might be able to save you some bread if you're just not prideful and you just ask a few questions. I know when the restock happened, a lot of people was like, you know, going crazy. This is my first time ever hitting it on Twitter. I was on Twitter, I seen the restock, I went through the J23 app and I got my pair. I was refreshing on the sneakers app, but it wasn't even showing the sneakers app. It was on a J23 like link way before the app. So I think I got like a nice little heads up on this. So shout out to the Shout out to the J23 app. It definitely works. But that's my story on how I saved myself some bread for the best Air Jordan of the year, or in my opinion, it's top. Let me know where y'all got the Air Jordan 3 white cement in your top 5 or top sneakers of the year 2023. Also comment down below, let me know if you restocked on these, and what is your advice to people who want to make sure they save money down the line by not buying pairs that's going to restock soon. Other than that, man, thank y'all for watching. Check out my Instagram and Twitter. Both of those are linked down below, man. Do not leave without checking out the IG and Twitter. Trying to get to 15K on Twitter. We super close. We at 14.9. Appreciate that. 70K on IG. I think right now we only at like 62K, man. So go over there, help me out on that, bro. Appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in the next one. It is your boy, Sniper Jones. You know I cannot leave without saying everybody want to be famous, but we're really putting in that work, though. Snipe Squad, I love y'all. Dream big.